My name is James Blackburn. I live and work in the American Southwest. As a result, I have the good fortune to be able to travel to a variety of beautiful locations. As a professional filmmaker, I document my life through video adventures and I share them with the world. Stay tuned as I travel through the world of movies and the beautiful outdoors. Thanks for watching the James Blackburn Experience.
After getting to bed early, I slept very well overnight. And then we were back up at dawn so we could get on the river early. Chapter 4, Back on the River Again.
All right, good morning, folks. Well, it's day 4. We're all packing up, and it's early morning, about 6:30. Still kind of dark out. It's a good day to get on the river and float about 9 or 10 miles. Welcome back to another James Blackburn Experience. I've been up since about 5. Didn't plan on getting up that early, but Mother Nature woke me up, meaning I had to visit the restroom. And I'm glad I did. Got that out of the way. And now it's a beautiful morning out. I'm 100% packed, and everything is in the boat except for my backpack. So, doing pretty dang good. Good start to a beautiful day. Wow, look at that. Well, goodbye to this beautiful spot here in just a little bit. Awesome.
The last forecast we saw said there was going to be strong winds in the early afternoon, and we wanted to get some miles in before then. Today started as a beautiful morning with cool temps and beautiful skies. The lower temps had me wearing a long-sleeve warm shirt as I prepped my gear for departure. After packing most of my gear, it was now time to break down my tent. Gear was being packed. There was a stillness in the air. The morning was indeed beautiful and quiet. It's moments like these that I truly appreciate. We continued to bring our gear down to the canoes. Soon, we would all be ready to paddle down the Green River on this wonderful day. As we packed up the last of our gear, I was attempting to keep myself calm as the river journey was going to begin soon. My mind was on the incident from 2 days ago, and I was definitely feeling nervous about our river time today. We were up at dawn and on the river by 7:30 a.m. for another early morning float. I really enjoy being on the river at this time of the day. The temps are nice, and there's a lot more shade to begin with. But I have to admit I'm nervous about getting back on the river again. I was feeling very anxious, and my heart rate was racing. I did not feel ready to float again. But there was no choice. We had to get some miles done today. I knew after we floated for a while, I might calm down and enjoy the canoeing again. We were off, and the adventure had begun. Soon the rest of the group would launch. It was exciting to be on our way. Other helpful tips. The wind can be gale force in the canyons and tends to pick up in the afternoon. We recommend getting up early and getting some miles under your belt. That way if the wind picks up, you won't be left with 10 plus miles to paddle into a headwind. Either way, be mentally prepared for this challenge. On all 3 trips that I've done here over the years, I've gotten a major headwind coming in on at least one day every time I've ever been there. So it is a real thing to think about and be prepared for.
How you doing, brother?
My heart's racing. I'm shaking a little bit. I know I shouldn't be.
Just calm down. We're good, man.
I think once we're on the water for a little bit, I'll feel...
It's okay, dude. I was a little bit nervous, too. Still am. That's fucking normal.
Thanks, brother.
We're good, man. We're good, James.
Yeah, we're on a nice calm stretch here.
Enjoy the float, dude.
I agree.
Oh,
Oh, so quiet and calm out here right now. Okay, my muscles stopped shaking. I feel like the body's normalizing. And I feel like the boat is definitely more well-balanced than the first 2 days, even though it's still not perfect.
And it's a lot lighter too.
And a lot lighter, yeah. There's less food, less water. That cooler's not full of drinks anymore and ice.
Yeah, let's go a little bit more that way.
I think even my heart rate's starting to decline finally too, and we've only been out here for about 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm already feeling a little better. So I had everything down here in the boat by 6:30, believe it or not, except for my backpack, which had my food and stuff in it. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay, I'll just steer for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came down yesterday and sponged the rest of this boat out, because there was still like an inch of water in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And it just feels so much better to not have any liquid in there at the moment.
That was a great idea.
Well, that's what's great for layover days, is not only can you do a hike or a board game and just chill, but you can fix or repair or repack things. Like those last 2 days at Jasper Canyon are going to be outstanding, I'm sure.
So I'm sure there's got to be a name for that feature right there.
For sure, yeah, because it's different than the rest. Round with that top on it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
I'm comfortably warm now.
Nice. Yeah, that does feel nice right now. It's feeling really good. Pretty dang awesome.
As we continued our float down the Green River, my nerves improved quite a bit, and instead of being nervous, I was really starting to enjoy the canoe adventure today. I did wear my life vest today, and I will continue to do so anytime I'm on the water. And let this be a lesson, folks. The reason why they make these things is because we're supposed to use them. They help with safety quite a bit.
Yep, and now we're just following the foam. I'm just going to keep steering us for a bit, let those guys get a little further ahead. Get us turned back into the foam.
The best time to float the Green River from Mineral Bottom to the confluence is in the spring or fall. Temperatures are too hot during summer to spend much time exploring side canyons off of the river. We chose early October for this canoe trip down the Green River, and it was on the verge of being hot. Winters are usually too cold to canoe here, so, spring and fall, check it out online. Water levels can be too high in early spring to find good campsites. Of course, conditions change from year to year, so you'll have to do some research. Check out resources for water flow and weather forecasts when it's closer to your date of the trip.
Okay. Gotcha.
Follow the foam.
Follow the foam. If I see it up there, they're going right into it. Yeah, that's really an impressive rock for sure. All of it.
Kind of dinosaur days.
Yeah. Yep, some dinosaurs definitely saw this rock. It was slightly shaped differently back then, but yeah. Pretty impressive.
There's some shallow stuff over there, James. It looks like.
Okay, I see it, yep. I'll just keep following Terry and Matt.
Yep, great idea.
You'll need a minimum of 3 days just to paddle this section of the river. It is always advisable to add an extra day in case you run into weather, which is likely. Also factor in a number of extra days you'll need for off-river adventures. You've had time to read the guidebooks. What sights do you want to see along the way? Do you want to spend more than one night at a campsite? Maybe have a layover? We took a week for this trip from Mineral Bottom to the confluence because we love hiking and exploring the area. Plus, we wanted 2 of the days to be layover days, one toward the beginning of the trip and the other one towards the end. Layover days were pure gold.
I can't remember who did it, but it was a theme that was like, rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, tip the boat, don't tip the boat. Oh,
Yeah,
rock the boat,
I do remember
don't
that
rock
song.
the boat, baby. Huh?
Yeah, I do remember that song. And it's appropriate to right now, so I will be careful, I promise.
Important notes about water. The water in the Green River is very silty and will muck up your water filter. There's also cattle upstream in the river corridor. For that reason, it's recommended to carry water for the trip. At 1 gallon per person per day, your water weight adds up, and a canoe is the best way to transport water on this trip. However, if you'd rather filter your water, that is possible with the help of something called alum. You also want to carry alum with you to settle the sediment before purifying your water. Alum helps the particles in the bucket of river water to settle to the bottom of the bucket quicker. I'm not an expert on this, so look it up online to learn more. Or, better yet, learn from a friend who is an expert and experienced in the matter. My good friends Matt and Terry taught me, and they have been making it work perfectly for over 20 years now. You'll need containers for fresh drinking and cooking water. Even if you have a water filter, the river water is always silty and cannot be filtered easily. Be prepared to use at least 1 gallon per person per day with extra for cooking meals. Here's a cool tip. If you freeze fresh water in empty jugs and use it in your cooler's ice, when they thaw, the water can be used for drinking and cooking. Plus, you got a piece of block ice that will last in the cooler for several days.
Let's stay away from the rock. Let's head out this way.
Sounds good to me.
River right.
I am very happy to do that.
Not too much. Let's follow Mikey Sarah. It's shallow out there. Follow Mikey Sarah.
Getting the permit. The canoe trip from Mineral Bottom to the confluence travels through Canyonlands National Park. A permit is required. You can get the permit online, in person at the Backcountry Permit Office in Moab, or from the Canyonlands National Park Visitor Center when they are open. Note, if you are out for a longer adventure and choose to extend this trip to include Labyrinth Canyon for a roughly 120-mile trip starting upstream at Green River State Park or Crystal Geyser or Ruby Ranch, you'll also need a valid BLM permit. Soon we would find a campsite and be off the river until tomorrow. I was looking forward to camp and the beautiful scenery that would be there. Temperatures in southern Utah can be unbearably hot. The good news is you're on the river, so you can always take a dip. But if camping in 100-degree weather doesn't sound like a good time, save your trip for the cooler fall months. We were there in October, where it was mostly 70s during the day and 50s at night, although a couple days we did get up into the lower 80s. Monsoon season is mid-July to early September in Utah. This brings afternoon storms that can result in flash flooding. If you float during this time, just make sure you choose your campsites carefully and avoid any washes. So when is the best time? It's nice to float the Green River from September through November, but be prepared for cooler evenings and colder mornings. Permits are free and can be obtained by emailing the permit form to the BLM or directly from your shuttle company. Make sure you bring a copy of your permit with you. There are no designated campsites along the river, which means below Mineral Bottom you can camp wherever you want, but it's first come, first serve.
All right, folks, we landed at Camp 3 on day 4, and look at this awesome view. Just beautiful, outstanding, awesome. All right, folks, day 4. We're at Dead Horse Canyon. We're going to be camping here tonight, kind of just chilling out here in the shade above the Green River, as you can see down below. And I'm looking at a formation called Turk's Head. So if you Google that, you can look up this rock formation online. I'm sure there's already pictures of it somewhere. And look it up. That's exactly what I'm looking at right now. So I believe it's that one big mesa formation right there in the middle, the 2 big rocks on top and the crumbly stuff underneath. So look it up online when you get a chance, and you can see what I'm seeing when you're seeing it and I'm seeing it at the same time. All right, folks, out there is the Green River. It's flowing from the left to the right, going downstream, of course. And the neat thing about it is sometimes there's a little inlet where you can pull your canoes into and park for the night. So we have all our canoes in here, and we are tied off and ready to go. We'll get these things loaded up in the morning for one more day of canoeing tomorrow before we have a layover day. But what I really came down here to do was, well, you can see there's gear here. Not all this needs to go up to the top, so we're leaving it by the boats for now, and we'll just reload it in the morning. What I really wanted to show you was the little trail that goes back up to where the campsite is. So let's go check that out, shall we? So yeah, this is a trail that over the years has been carved out by people to get up to the camp spot. So you can tell it's like right on the edge here. So just watch your feet, don't trip. Otherwise you're going to take a fall down in the water. Little turnage here. And we're going to come out into a clearing here where there's lots of sun at the moment. Okay, there you go. Lots of good camp spots up here. Not much shade, unfortunately, but that'll change here in a little bit. Folks are down there hanging out in the shade. And over here, well, this will be the kitchen area, of course. Howdy. And then down here, in this little flat, sandy spot to the right, I'm going to put my tent in here once this is in the shade, because it's like 82 out here, which is not bad, but in the direct sunshine it's pretty toasty. But you can see the shadow is slowly growing, and here in a little bit we'll probably all be in the shade, and then we can get camp set up and ready to go. Some interesting rocks up here. Apparently this red stuff is called jasper, so I'm going to look that up online and learn a little bit more about it. Tomorrow we're canoeing about 10 miles to a place called Jasper Canyon. And I'm sure there's lots of jasper in there too, but this canyon's not hurting for it either. All that red stuff is jasper. That's pretty cool. Very unusual rock formations here. Alright, there's the Green River. Camp down below. Not below the Green River, it's above the Green River, but below where I'm at. Awesome. Here's an interesting plant out in the desert. I'm not sure what this is, but it's so delicate looking for such a harsh environment.
Leave no trace. With this being a backcountry trip, you should familiarize yourself with the principles of leave no trace before you go. As mentioned before, you will need to carry out all solid human waste in your toilet system. Also, please pack out all of your toilet paper. For peeing, you should go in the river. Don't trample or camp on vegetation. Know how to recognize and avoid stepping on the cryptobiotic soil. Don't carve your name into rock walls. And don't touch any petroglyphs you might find. For doing dishes, remove all food scraps lick the plate clean, and then use biodegradable soap to wash. Pack out all food scraps, including apple cores, orange peels, and banana peels. For more information on Leave No Trace as it pertains to canoe trips, search online for the American Canoe Association website.
What an awesome canyon. Wish I had more than one day here. I'd love to get back there and really explore, but just too tired right now. Look at all that chamisa. It's everywhere and it's in full bloom here. It's already out of bloom in Albuquerque, probably because we're higher elevation.
There are a lot of side attractions and hikes to check out, so look those up online and check out your maps. I highly recommend taking a GPS and loading it with a map of the river miles so you can keep track of your progress. The website has a GPS file you can download, as well as a list of high water campsites that you should make note of before your trip. I also recommend a Garmin or other satellite device. This allows for you to stay connected with loved ones, and it has an SOS option just in case you have an emergency situation. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and I was already a couple hundred feet into it. I was feeling good, feeling strong, and ready to explore this beautiful and historic area. Now, when I was on the Green River, I didn't really experience a lot of bugs, but I have heard that the mosquitoes in Labyrinth Canyon and Stillwater Canyon can and will be awful during certain times of the year. The bugs start to come out typically when the water levels drop to a point where the beaches start to be revealed. This typically happens sometime in June. Then the bugs will stick around to mid or late July. However, we were there in early October and didn't have too many bugs to deal with. Mostly just some flies and gnats, and that wasn't even all day long, it was just occasional.
Time for the search for wood. Terry and Matt are already down there by the chamisa. I'm heading down now. See what kind of firewood we can find out here, because it's not very much. It's been picked pretty darn clean.
Tonight was my turn for dinner, and I was in the mood for some comfort food. Chili dogs and mac and cheese. Yummy! I have lived in the Southwest since 1998, and I never get tired of seeing these amazing sunsets. Holy wow! Time for another excellent campfire experience. This is always one of my favorite parts of camping. The smell of the campfire is nice. That I truly enjoy. Yes, yes. But even more so, I love the conversations we have around the campfire. It's a great way to get to know folks better, and it's also very relaxing. Family, friends, and a campfire under the night skies? Yes, please. This is good medicine. I struggled with falling asleep at first because this area really seemed to hold the heat. and it didn't cool down until later in the evening. But eventually I did fall asleep, and the temperatures were just right for a good snooze overnight. Love, love. Hate, hate. Take care of each other. You can see what I'm seeing when you're seeing it and I'm seeing it at the same time.
And away we go. Yeah, pretty neat.
Sure.
Boy, that's some weird lighting.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Remember, folks, life is beautiful if you know where to look. Keep your eyes, your heart, and your mind open. It just might lead you somewhere special. Thank you for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Please check out my channel for over 1,000 additional video adventures.